it always begins the same way. You're home alone, late at night, the world outside cloaked in darkness and silence. Perhaps you're watching TV, reading, or just finishing some late-night work, when a sudden knock breaks the stillness. It's odd, really. No one should be at your door at this hour, and the sound of knocking at night, it's unnerving. But curiosity, or perhaps just a sense of duty, drives you to answer. You peek through the peephole or crack the door open slightly, and that's when you see them. 2 children are standing quietly on your porch. At first glance, they look ordinary. They're dressed in hoodies or jackets, their heads tilted down as they stand unnaturally still. The first unsettling detail is the strange feeling they give off. There's something wrong, but you can't quite place it. Maybe it's the way they hold themselves, the way they don't seem to belong, like they're out of place. And then one of them speaks. The voice is calm, eerily calm for a child. "Can we come in?" they ask, their heads still tilted downward, never looking directly at you. Their request is simple, but something about it chills you to the bone. You glance at their faces again, trying to see their eyes, but their heads are still lowered, as if they're avoiding eye contact. A feeling of unease begins to creep into your gut, like a sixth sense warning you that something is terribly wrong. "We're lost," the child says. "We need to use your phone." Or maybe they ask for a ride. Their requests can vary, but the message is always the same. They want you to let them in. The request is polite, but there's an underlying pressure in their tone, something unnatural about their words. Every fiber of your being screams at you not to open the door, not to let them in. And then you make the mistake of asking a question. Maybe you ask, "Where are your parents?" Or, "What are you doing out here so late?" Their response is chilling in its simplicity. "We need to come in," they repeat. It's then that one of the children finally lifts their head, and you see it. Black eyes, completely void of color or emotion. Their eyes are not just dark, they are entirely black, with no whites, no iris, nothing but a deep, soulless abyss staring back at you. The sight sends a wave of terror through you. Those aren't the eyes of a child. They're not even human. Your heart pounds as you take a step back, instinctively retreating from the door. Suddenly you know without a doubt that you cannot let them inside. Something evil radiates from these children, something ancient, something inhuman. But even as your mind screams in fear, the children remain calm, their voices steady. "Let us in," they say again, and it's no longer a request, it's a demand. You slam the door shut, heart racing, hands trembling. For a moment you think you've done the right thing. But then the knocking starts again, louder this time, more insistent. The children's voices slip through the cracks of the door, their tone no longer polite. "Let us in," they repeat over and over, the words blending into the rhythm of their knocking. There's no emotion in their voices, no fear or pleading, only cold, relentless persistence. You back away from the door, the sound of their demands echoing in your ears. Maybe you think of calling the police, but somehow you know it won't help. These are not normal children. These are not even children at all. The pressure in the air builds, and your fear intensifies. The lights flicker, the temperature drops, and the atmosphere becomes suffocating. They are waiting patiently, just beyond the door. They know, somehow, that eventually you will give in. Stories of the black-eyed children have been whispered for decades, perhaps even longer. No one knows exactly where these beings come from or what they want, but the pattern is always the same. They appear late at night, often in pairs, always with a polite request to be let inside, whether it's to use a phone, get a ride, or simply escape the cold. But once someone lets them in, no one knows what happens next, because no one has lived to tell the tale. Some say these children are demons, disguising themselves in the innocent form of youths to prey on the unsuspecting. Others believe they are alien hybrids, a strange fusion of human and extraterrestrial, wandering the Earth in search of something we cannot understand. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. Their black, soulless eyes are a warning, a signal that they do not belong to this world. There have been countless reports from all over the world, people who claim to have encountered these eerie, black-eyed children. Each story is similar. The same sense of dread, the same unnatural calmness in the children's behavior, and always, the same eyes. Black as night, devoid of any humanity. And now, you stand frozen in your home, the knocking continuing, the children's voices still whispering, still asking, "Let us in." You try to block out the sound, but it persists, growing louder and louder until it fills your head. Time seems to stretch on, the moments passing in agonizing slow motion as the dread creeps deeper into your bones. You don't know what to do. Part of you wants to give in, just to make the sound stop. But the other part of you knows that if you open that door, it'll be the last mistake you ever make. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, the knocking stops. The silence is deafening. You cautiously approach the door, peeking through the peephole once more, and they're gone. The porch is empty, the night is still, and the overwhelming pressure has vanished. But you know deep down that they will return. Maybe not tonight, maybe not tomorrow, but one day they will knock again. The black-eyed children never give up. They are patient, they are relentless, and they are always looking for the next person to let them in. So the next time you hear a knock at your door in the dead of night, be cautious. Look before you answer. And if you ever see children standing on your porch, their heads down, voices too calm, and a request that seems far too strange, don't open the door. No matter how much they plead, no matter how cold they say they are, never let them in, because once you do, there is no turning back. The black-eyed children have come for you, and they are never, ever satisfied.